This is actually the first time I've ever even talked about it. Defund the police.
Are you interested in running for a political position at the federal level?
I am not the same mayor as I was when I took office. I'm not the same person. All ass down to Annunciation as quickly as we possibly could get. And the first person to die from climate change is already dead. Trump is trying to do are horrific.
Hey, I'm Kat from Kat Gets Money, also Kat Gets Politics, and today I'm talking to a candidate from the Minneapolis mayoral election. I want to hear more about what they're going to do for our city, and I want you to hear about it too. All right. Welcome, Mayor Frey. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to walk you through kind of what's going to happen today, and then we'll jump into it. So we're going to start with some games, some fun little short kind of word association games. Then we'll talk a little bit about you and allow you to, introduce yourself to voters that maybe don't know you yet. Lots of people probably do, but a few might not quite know. Then we're going to get into a game called Instant Accountability, which that's where some of those props over there come in. You'll have a chance to win big and lose big. Then after that, we'll go deeper into different political questions and give you a chance to talk about policy.
Right.
We'll end off on you giving your 1-minute pitch to voters.
That sounds great.
Perfect. All right. Okay. Before we jump in, I do have to, let my viewers know that you are interviewing after 2 candidates have already launched their episodes. So I know members of your team maybe have had a chance to see the past episodes. Have you seen anything yet?
I have not. No, I have not seen a
thing.
thing.
Okay, cool. I just want to be transparent with the viewers. The other candidates hadn't had anything come out yet, so they didn't know. Cool. All right. So let's get into some games.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to start with word association. So I'm going to say a word, and I want you to say the first word that comes to mind for you. One word.
Okay, yes.
Wisconsin.
Badgers.
Housing.
Affordable.
Skyway.
Room temperature.
That's 2 words.
Room temp. I don't know. You
We'll
gotta get
combine
one
it
better.
into one, remove the space. All right. Riots.
Fair.
Encampment.
Unsheltered.
All right. Now, this or that. I'm going to give you 2 things, and you have to pick one.
Okay.
Uptown or North Loop?
Right now, I'm going uptown. I was just there this morning, and uptown needs that boost. We need to rock.
Okay. Stone Arch Bridge or Walker Art Sculpture Garden?
Stone Arch Bridge.
Sweet Martha's Cookies or Cafe Caribe?
Sweet Martha's.
Lake Day at Minnetonka or ski trip to Lutsen Mountains?
Lake trip to Minnetonka. I'm not a very good skier.
Okay.
But I have been to Lutsen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
I like that. There's that alpine ride that you can go down where it rolls as opposed to skiing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
So that's the one you do.
I would do that. Just garbage skier. Yeah. I grew up on the East Coast, so I was not like frequently in the snow or on the ice.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
St. Paul or Stillwater?
St. Paul, Twin City.
Okay. St. Paul Pride, okay. Going into some more mayoral questions.
Yeah.
What is something that people think is part of the mayor's job, but actually isn't?
Oh, my God. You want to add another hour to this?
You start and I'll cut you off.
Here?
What's like one big thing?
People assume oftentimes that, look at it this way. The mayor is the closest executive position to the people.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, you get, at times, both the credit and the blame, neither of which are deserved. When something good happens in a neighborhood or in somebody's life, that's on you. When something rough takes place, that's on me.
Yeah.
There are issues that we touch at the city level that other levels of government don't want to touch with a 20-foot pole.
Yeah.
Melvin Carter and I, the mayor of St. Paul, always talk about all the other issues that nobody can figure out and that are just hard.
Yeah.
They ultimately get passed down to mayors.
Yeah.
And you make a decision. You largely get criticized for whatever that decision may be. And you keep moving forward. I often joke, nobody ever comes into my office and says, Mayor, we got a decision for you. Do you want cupcakes or donuts? By the time the decision reaches the mayor's office, it is usually really hard
Yeah.
It's oftentimes between two very difficult choices. You make those decisions sometimes without enough time or enough information to be able to make it in full. But you make the call, and you do the best you can.
Yeah.
And you make decisions that you believe in that moment are the very best for the city. And so, gosh, you could go through anything, virtually any issue out there. I mean, sometimes it's not even the city property. Sometimes it's a county road. Sometimes it's park board. Sometimes it's the federal government that's controlling it. You know, it's literally any issue out there. But here's the thing: people don't care.
Yeah,
about
they
that. They want help.
Right.
They
want
want
accountability.
service. They want accountability. And so sometimes it's easier just to say, you know what, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my very best. I got it. And then you try to figure out how you advocate to other levels of government where it's not you.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny. What that reminds me of a little bit is parents and parenting.
Yeah.
It's like you get all of these, you get the blame and the benefit, but a lot of the time, kids are dealing with things at school, things that maybe government should be handling that kids are having to deal with, and then parents are having to really do the hard work on figuring it out.
That's right.
Yeah. Why are you running again? Why are you running for another term?
I am running for a final term because I love Minneapolis. I love this city. I'm raising my family here. I got a 5-year-old daughter in Frida. I got a 10, 11-week-old kid in Estelle.
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and I want them to grow up in the greatest city in the world that I love. I just moved my parents out here from the East Coast.
Oh, wow.
Part of that is happy and that we wanted to have them closer to the grandkids. Part of it is hard in that my mom is going through some pretty severe cognitive decline and is suffering from dementia. And we need to get her some help.
Yeah.
And so I want both my kids to grow up and my parents to age in place and continue growing old in this city that I love and in a community that I was part of making a better place. And I'll also just note, you learn things as mayor. You gain experiences, especially over these last 5 years. I am not the same mayor as I was when I took office. I'm not the same person. And you learn lessons that make you a better mayor, that make you a better leader. And I use those lessons every single day. And I'm running for a final term here. This is my last term that I'm going to run for to get the job done.
I think, especially the last 5 years have been so hard for people. I mean, between COVID, between, George Floyd, especially in Minneapolis. I think most of us, all of us probably would say we are not the same person we were 5 years ago.
That's right.
How do you think those things have changed Minneapolis? Like, what do you think is the biggest thing you notice of like, wow, this is different from 5 years ago?
People collectively recognized that change and transformation was essential. Maybe they knew that before George Floyd, and many people knew it due to lived experience. But Floyd's murder, the subsequent unrest, a global pandemic, an economic downturn, all that in one fell swoop, I think caused everybody to do some evaluation of their own lives, of the city that they live in, taking a real critical vantage point of how you yourself and others around you live in this world. And so it's impossible to give you one simple thing, because I think everybody has changed in different ways. There are some people that recognize that they wanted to be alone more often. There are some people that recognize how much they loved other people. There are those that have realized they don't want to live in urban areas. There's others that have said, oh my God, please take me to a great city. Minneapolis in particular has been changed forever by the murder of George Floyd. And I know it's changed me forever as well.
Yeah. If you could go back in time to any moment, it doesn't have to be related to any of the things we've talked about yet, but it can be, and you could change how you approached a situation or just do something differently in the past, what would you pick? And of course, hindsight is 2020,
Yeah.
but
I mean, yeah, of course, hindsight is 2020. I mean, if you don't have things that you could have done differently or wished you had done differently, especially through 2020, you're probably not doing the necessary self-reflection.
right, you probably haven't grown then.
There are moments when I wish I had had thicker skin. There are moments early on, certainly in my career, where I let things get to me, where I was more impacted by, name calling on social media,
Sure.
somebody saying something about me or my family even,
Right.
and I let that statement get the better of me on that day.
Mm-hmm.
There were moments when deep down I was certain I was doing the right thing, but even in those moments questioned myself.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, I wish I had just expended less energy on that piece, made the call, and moved forward without the ongoing consternation and even anxiety about the decision that you made.
Right, right. And I think a lot of people who've been in leadership roles, even if they're just a parent and leading
Right.
a family, can relate to that. But I do think sometimes, that little voice, maybe it's your conscience or maybe it's,
Yeah.
Different things that are saying, wait a minute, sometimes that pause is a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
All right. We're going to go into our game now. So my team is going to help set up here. And so we're going to take a quick pause. It's funny, some candidates are they talk a lot and some are very quick to the point.
Yeah.
So I'm learning as an interviewer.
Which one am I? I don't even know.
You talk a little more.
I'm a talker, darling.
Clock and
Oh,
being
really?
able to get it to work correctly.
I have experience with this clock.
Yeah, you have had experience with the clock
Yeah.
now. So, but we have it set to 30 seconds on this show instead of
Okay.
an hour. So, hope this clock doesn't appear in your nightmares.
Oh my God.
What does the mayor spend his morning doing?
Well, today was his MEA
Oh, yeah.
right now, or
Yep.
whatever you call that.
Yeah, the license center was packed. I
yeah.
had to get mine renewed.
So normally, I get up, I take a couple of phone calls. If I have time, I get in a run. Quick shower, get my daughter dressed, the older one, and take her into daycare, which is over in Dinkytown. Hit up the first event by 8 or so, or 8:30.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And then it's largely the day is divided into 30-minute increments.
Uh-huh.
If I'm in the office, it's like a 20-minute meeting, followed by 5 minutes of staff direction, followed by 5 minutes of taking a quick phone call or using the bathroom or something like that, and then again and again and again.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Do you look at your calendar when you're doing that, or do you just kind of like run through the day?
So I look at my calendar usually just before I get in the shower in the morning.
Okay.
So, I look
So
at
you
the
kind
calendar.
of know.
I look at I look at the calendar. I have a kind of an idea of what's going to say. I think about whatever I'm going to, how I'm going to orient myself for the day while I'm in the shower. You get going
Yeah.
with the day.
Yeah. Are we good? Are we ready to go?
Ready.
Okay, amazing. All right. So let me explain the rules to you. So
Yes.
the way that this is going to work is I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
And you need to answer that question in 30 seconds.
Got it.
And what I'm looking for with your answer is, did you give a specific policy solution?
good.
Now, I don't have to agree with that solution.
Yes.
But did you answer the question? Did you
Yes.
give a potential solution for the problem?
Dig it.
Now, if for every question that you answer right, you will get
A cookie?
Yep, cookie from Insomnia Cookies.
Insomnia.
Yep,
Oh my God.
yep.
All right, let's do it.
And if you get all of them,
Yeah.
then you get the whole box.
Okay,
So
dig it.
you get an extra cookie.
All right.
But for every question that you fail, you will have to spend the next 5 to 10 minutes of the interview holding one of those props,
That's fine.
including
Bring it
that goose.
on. Well, I'll hold the goose.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Are you ready?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Cool. All right. How will you work with city council to make the city better? Go.
we should be working with every member of the city council to find YIMBY solutions in Minneapolis. In other words, solutions where we can go, yes, in my backyard, we can bring more affordable housing and a diversity of housing options to every neighborhood. Oftentimes, council members are best equipped in that they know their neighborhoods very well. They know individual leaders within them. And if we can work together to make that happen, we can bring a variety of different socioeconomic backgrounds to every neighborhood.
I can't give you that one, and here's why.
Really?
Yeah, here's why. Because you said you would work together with them, but you didn't explain how. You just said, we will work together to do these things for Minneapolis. But how? Like, are you going to talk to them? Are you, like, what's the mechanism? So I'm going to give you the goose with that one.
All right. Let's bring it on.
All right.
Give me the goose.
Let's go. All right. And by the way, I'm asking the candidates to name the goose. You don't have to decide right now, but I feel like it's...
know it.
Okay. Oh, what is it?
It's defund the piggees.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Middle name is the.
I might have to come back to that one. That's pretty funny. Okay. All right. Next question. How will you increase the affordable housing supply in Minneapolis? Go.
Well, first off, we have increased it at record levels already, and we do so through a combination of supply and subsidy. We are creating right now 8.5 times the amount of deeply affordable homes since before I took office, and by increasing that subsidy, bridging the gap between market rate and the affordable rate, we are able to provide more people with homes.
All right. You got it. You got that one. And in record time.
All
Boom.
right.
There you go. You get your cookie for that
Thank you
one.
very much.
All right. Next question. What's something new that you plan to do in your next term to address homelessness in Minneapolis? Go.
So we just rolled out what is called a medical mobile unit that provides health care directly to people that are unsheltered. But in addition to providing that health care, we also want to get them a particular drug known as Brixadi. We want to get them culturally sensitive treatment. We want to make sure that they have the ability to get care right there on site, which presently they don't have. And so we're going to be rolling that out as quickly as possible and as soon as the law allows for it.
Great. All right. That was specific. You get your cookie. Thank you.
So I'm at 2 cookies now?
Yeah, you're at 2.
See, I haven't even seen which cookies they are. What happens if it's like all kind of sort of cookies that I don't like?
Then I guess I'll have to bring you some new ones. There's an Insomnia down the street.
That's fine.
We'll swap them out.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you plan to change how policing works in Minneapolis? Go.
So first, right now, we are making sure that the officers that we are bringing in are there for the right reasons, that they want to improve their communities, even that they're from Minneapolis. 2, we're diversifying the force. And 3, we're making sure that not every single call goes directly to police. Sometimes it can go to a mental health responder. Sometimes it can go to a social worker. So we're expanding out the system, which is a comprehensive approach to public safety.
All right. I'll give you that one too. Next question and last question. Then you'll have 4 cookies.
All right.
You get it. How will you raise revenue for the city of Minneapolis?
Revenue is raised through a combination of property taxes, but beyond, by accessing underutilized space, by making sure that developments are going up on parcels that previously had nothing. That raises revenue in the form of property taxes. But in addition to that, we go to the legislature to advocate both for additional tools, but also for funding sources like local government aid. These are sources that we used to get if you go back to the Pawlenty administration, but then he tanked it. And since then, we haven't gotten the monies we used to. So number of different options.
All right, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one too. So you get 4 cookies.
All right, I'll take 4.
You get 4.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Okay, my team's gonna quick take this down, and then we're gonna get into some deeper questions that you'll have a little bit more time to answer.
Let's do
this
it.
time. So thank you. So the Trump administration has been approaching cities and threatening to bring in the National Guard all across the country. If you get a next term, how will you interact with Trump? How will you work with him or take a stand? What's your plan there?
Yeah. So no time for this one, right? We can get going. I was around for the first term of Donald Trump. And as horrific as that was, this is something that is altogether different. There were moments where we had a pretty strong ability to work with maybe not the top official, but bureaucrats, people that were experts in the particular subject matter areas that they had provided service from Clinton to Obama to Bush to Trump. I mean, a number of different presidencies.
Right.
And the concerning part now is he's trying to gut those very people that have so much expertise and skill doing their work. And so, first, we have to stand by our values in Minneapolis because the things that Trump is trying to do are horrific. We need to stand up for our neighbors, which include undocumented immigrants. We have to make sure that these neighbors have every bit of support and they know exactly how we are going to work with them. Second, we can't compromise our values for the sake of money. About 7 months ago now, 8 months ago, I had a letter on my desk from the Office of Management and Budget at the Trump administration, which quite literally said that they were going to stop providing funds and grants to cities. To give you an idea, that's like $70 million.
Wow.
This goes to emergency management. This goes to our bomb squad. It goes to affordable housing and shelter and a range of different services that people rely on us to provide.
Right.
And what he was essentially saying is, we will deny you that funding unless you cooperate with immigration enforcement. You can't cooperate with that. This is a moral issue. We need to stand strong on it, and we won't budge an inch. But there's other stuff that they're doing which is just horrific. I mean, the absolute gutting of healthcare services. You know who deals with the repercussions of that? People in cities.
Yep.
We're going to have to pick up the slack because somebody's not paying for health care. Somebody will go without. They'll get sick. They'll get very sick. They'll lose their job because they aren't able to come into work. They go homeless. And then it's cities and counties that are trying to figure out how to handle what is a horrific and unfair situation that the Trump administration is putting people in. There's not one solution as to how do you deal with Trump, but you stand up to him. You stand by the values that you hold in a great city, and you make sure that you go hand in hand with the diverse communities of Minneapolis facing the most difficult of circumstances. Just to give you an idea, we didn't sit on our hands and wait. When we saw our trans community being attacked, we passed an executive order. I signed an executive order making sure that Minneapolis was a safe haven for trans people and gender-affirming care. When abortion access was attacked, we made sure that we were doing the right things to get care for people who needed it in this city. When our undocumented community is attacked, we made sure that we were doing everything possible under the law to stand up for our neighbors and making sure that our police officers are doing the right things for safety. And by the way, here's the question, because one of the things that they're suing us based on is our refusal to have police cooperate with immigration enforcement. You know what I want our police officers doing? I want them stopping murders.
Yep.
And preventing carjackings. I want them making sure that they're doing everything possible to arrest perpetrators of violent crime. You know what I don't want them doing? Spending a single second hunting down a father who just dropped his kids off at daycare, who's about to go and work a 12-hour shift, who happens to be from Ecuador. That guy, that man, is a great benefit to our city. We want him here.
So what Republicans would argue to that is that if an undocumented immigrant already broke the law coming here, then there's, maybe they'll break the law again, and they're worried about that. What do you say to that criticism?
There are a variety of reasons that people come to this country. Sometimes they're refugees. Sometimes they're escaping political violence. Sometimes they're dealing with deep safety concerns in the respective country where they're. Sometimes it's climate refugees. I mean, the first person to die from climate change is already dead.
Yep.
And more people are coming to countries like the United States to take refuge. And so there are a number of issues as to why people come here, and oftentimes they've been here for a really long time. Longer than I've been here, longer than maybe we've even been alive. And so the way I look at it is, do you need immigration reform at the federal level? Of course. Do you need some form of rules? Of course you do. But for those people that have contributed so greatly to Minneapolis, that have started business, and put their kids through school and invested their blood, sweat, and tears in a city that they deeply love. I'll just say we want them here, and we're proud to have them.
Yeah. Kind of shifting gears a little bit back to DC. Are you interested in running for a political position at the federal level?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. That's often something that I get tagged with.
Yep.
And it's funny. People said that I was using this job as a stepping stone, and I would immediately jump to the next. This is now my third term that I'm running for.
You are. Yep.
Kind of hard to say both of those things at the same time.
Fair. Yeah.
As soon as I knew I wanted to be involved in politics, I wanted to be mayor of Minneapolis. I love this job. It is hard. Sometimes it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it's beautifully fulfilling because you can go hand in hand with people facing some of the most difficult circumstances. You're never not in the arena doing the hard work when you're mayor.
Yeah.
And, sure, people can come at you, but oftentimes the very people, including in this race, that are coming at you don't actually have solutions themselves other than what you've done in the hardest moment.
Your primary political opponent, Senator Fateh, sat here as well, and he brought up potential stories that you or your team or PACs may have planted in the media about him that ignited racism. How do you respond to that?
Name one that my team is responsible for in the media.
So we spoke about the Care 11 investigation specifically.
Which one is that?
The fraud one.
Look, I do not know the details of this particular fraud investigation. What I do know is that that particular program is being looked into extensively. I take full responsibility for every word that has come out of my mouth. And I believe this is actually the first time I've ever even talked about it.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say on it, or leave it there?
I'm going to leave it there for now. No, okay. I mean, here's the thing. When people have attacked Omar Fateh because of his race or his religion, I was one of the first people that has stood up for him. When Charlie Kirk came at Senator Omar Fateh, I called it what it was, which was racist. I have stood by him through some of the most difficult of moments. And that is while he was simultaneously campaigning for the office that I presently hold. Mm-hmm. And so, look, I believe that you do what is right. And at the same time, look, people have the right to critique my record. I think people also have the right to critique his. Yeah.
You guys are both running for office.
Right.
You hold political positions. Absolutely.
Yep.
Shifting back to local and talking about those solutions, how will you balance the needs and the asks from developers with what our residents want to see? How do you balance those constituencies?
Well, what do our residents want to see? They want to see housing, right?
Yeah.
They want to see affordable housing. I often get this, why do you work with developers? They build housing. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a public housing developer, a nonprofit developer, a for-profit developer, they put up homes for people that need them. Mm-hmm. Do I work with them? Am I proud to work with them? Yes. Because it doesn't make sense to do it any other way. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean you work with them at the expense of or without working with other people that are in those homes and in surrounding neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. In the area of housing, and I assume that's what you're referring to right now, just check the records on this. I would put the record that we have in housing of Minneapolis up against any other city in the entire country.
Yeah.
We're producing 8.5 times the amount of deeply affordable housing since before I took office. We have kept rents down in Minneapolis more than virtually any city in the country. You don't need to take my word for it. Check the record.
And by the way, I
Yeah.
have checked the record
Yeah.
on this. That second point, I agree with you on completely. The first, I would argue that where we started was really rough.
Yeah, I would agree with
So
that.
8.5 is good, but if we had started at a higher amount, it would have been more meaningful.
That is true. We weren't where we needed to be when I took office, but we have increased it 8.5 times what it was, and we have brought it. We are continuing to bring that number up even higher.
Yeah.
Should we have been doing it back before I was mayor? Yeah. But put our record up against any other mayor in the entire country. And I'll tell you, the work that we have done is literally trying to be copied by other cities. And it's not just that. It's also around creating a diversity of housing options in every neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I strongly believe in is pushing back on very intentional segregation from the past. And let me explain what that looks like. We've got maps going back like 100 years in Minneapolis that designate the north side as a slum for blacks and Jews. And when you combine that with intentional segregation, with restrictive covenants that run with the land, intentionally separating communities from some of their most vital assets, like, say, a riverfront by a highway and heavy industrial, when you do all of those things, it has an impact. And when we were no longer able to do those things explicitly, the city and others started doing a lot of those things implicitly through zoning code.
Yeah.
Setting it up so that unless you could own a really big home on a really big parcel, you can't even live in huge swaths of the city. We did the really hard work to help undo that, allowing for affordable housing to go in middle and upper income neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically it was allowed. Practically it wasn't, because it doesn't make sense to buy a mansion just to put one low-income family in there.
Right.
If you're going to buy a mansion, you want to put 8 families in there.
And you're referring to the 2040 plan.
I am.
Right.
I am. This was hard.
Yeah.
Look, we had signs up all around the city saying, don't bulldoze my neighborhood. This is going to be a disaster, whatever. Well, guess what? That plan is the standard nationally for how we provide a diversity of housing options, for how we increase supply. And so the things that a lot of other candidates talk about, we did. And it was hard, and it was controversial. But we got it done.
Yeah. I want to talk about something else that is hard. Annunciation, the tragedy at Annunciation. Can you walk me through, in your eyes, like, how did you find out about it when you heard what was happening? What did you do next? Just from your perspective, like, what happened in the moment?
Yeah. I was on the phone with the chief when he first heard.
Wow.
But in that initial moment, it was not entirely clear what was taking place. And so, obviously, the chief took the call, or the radio. As soon as I was able, I connected with the chief again, and immediately got in with the security detail and hauled ass down to Annunciation as quickly as we possibly could get there. I'll tell you, there's only, I believe, a couple of instances when we've ever used the lights in the mayor's car, the cherries.
Yeah.
This was one of them. And I got there, and I remember getting out of the car, and there was a father off to the side who was in cargo shorts. He was carrying one kid under his arm like it was a football. He was running and had to kick off his flip-flops so that he could go just a little bit faster. And I remember just looking over at him, and he didn't know where his other kid was. And I didn't have answers for him. You see things that you never want to see, and you hear things that you never want to hear during those circumstances.
Yeah.
And while I won't get into the detail of what I heard and saw, what I will tell you is that as horrific as this was, and 2 amazing children tragically got killed, And as horrific as that was, it could have been 8 or 10, but for the amazing work of students who were brave as hell, but for the great work of teachers and our first responders and our city. Police were there in 4 minutes flat. They didn't hesitate like in Uvalde. They busted through the door. They were looking for a second potential shooter at the same time they were looking for what could have been an explosive.
Mm-hmm.
They were tying one kid in a tourniquet at the same time they were directing another how to fill a gaping wound with gauze. And then every kid was on an ambulance within 14 minutes, which is practically unprecedented. What was 2 could have been 8 or 10, but for their work. And so it's inspirational how an incredible city and an Annunciation community, a broad-speaking Annunciation community, has rallied around families that have been struggling, how they've supported one another, and how they've uplifted our whole city in the process.
Yeah. What kind of legacy do you want to leave?
You know, I could tell you about the policies that I'm proud of changing. I could talk to you about stable homes, stable schools, which is perhaps the program itself that I'm most proud of, that we created when I first took office. I could tell you about the strong mayor system that we have been implementing. But the things largely that I'm most proud of are those that get the least applause.
Like what?
It's moments where I did the right thing despite getting booed or publicly shamed. It's the moments not where I gave a great speech and everybody cheered behind me, but the moments when I told people the truth, got no credit for it, thought my political career may be over, and ultimately people recognized that what I did was right. And there are more than a few instances of that. More so than any one policy, that is part of what it takes to be mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Not just saying yes to who's ever yelling at you the loudest, or in fear of getting bashed on social media, or out of concern that your home will get spray painted or protested. It's doing the right thing because you know that it's right, and having the courage and the guts to stand your ground for the sake of the future of our city.
Yeah.
And so I could tell you about those moments and expand on them, but I think people largely know. Whereas others have caved, I have not.
Yeah. All right. Now I want you to walk me through some of your favorite things in Minneapolis. So first off, coffee shop. What's your favorite coffee shop?
So right now I'm going to go Fletcher's. It's right near my home.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 20 feet away, literally. And I mean, there's 1,000 amazing coffee shops that are in Minneapolis, and they're all spectacular. But yeah, that's the one I hit up most frequently, and I like those guys there.
I mean, they have good ice cream there too.
You know, I like the coffee and I like the pastries more than I like the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
For ice cream, I'm more of like a Sebastian Joe's
Okay.
kind of person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Restaurant. Your favorite restaurant?
Right now, I'm going Diane's Place. You know,
So good.
She got the best restaurant of the year in like the entire United States.
Mm-hmm.
And
Deserved.
it was deserved. It is damn good. I name drop here. Knew her before she was really big time. Yeah, and she is just an incredible person.
Yeah. Yeah. She did catering for an event that I was doing, and it was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes, you know, these places that win these awards, you
Right.
might think they're a little bit overrated.
Right.
Not her at
Well,
all. Like,
yeah, and
well deserved.
You gotta like some of those flavors. Like I love coconut flavor, and I know that's pretty controversial. People either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
I'm all in on it.
Okay.
And that's one flavor that she uses a whole
Yeah.
lot.
She also has a lot of lychee. I love that.
Lychee's good.
Yeah.
Lime. Yeah,
Yes.
delicious.
All right. What's a hidden gem in Minneapolis that a lot of people don't know about?
Okay, so if you head over to Boom Island.
Mm-hmm. I think we live in the same neighborhood, by the way. So.
Yes. Okay, so you would know. You're over by. Okay, so go to Boom Island. Picture yourself looking away from the river. There is this little rise of a hill with a bunch of shrubbery and trees on it. there is a small trail that runs up behind that shrubbery, and it comes out onto a lookout. Not many people know that it's there, but you can head over there. It's like a little bit secluded. You put down a picnic blanket. You have this beautiful downtown skyline as a backdrop. You have some tunes that are playing. The sun is shining. The Mississippi River is right there. And everybody is just hanging out on the lawn, kind of is the expanse of Boom Island itself.
Yeah.
It's a special spot.
Yeah, that park is amazing.
Isn't it
I
cool?
have not been to that spot,
Go
though.
to
I've
the
lived
spot.
there for years.
Park's great,
That's a
but
great
go
spot.
to that
Yeah.
spot. There's nothing like it, and then don't tell anybody.
Well,
Because if I go there to have my picnic and somebody else is there, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, well,
So this is just like, I'm only telling you, don't tell anybody else.
There's cameras here. You just let the cat out of the bag.
All right. Didn't realize that. I didn't realize I was going to air this.
Yeah, I'll be airing it. People are going to know. You might see me there.
Yes, yes.
All right. What's your favorite place to party in Minneapolis?
You know, that's changed over the years. 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I would have just said straight up North Loop. Living on the east side, you head over to North Loop, partying at Jet Set. We used to go to the old Jet Set.
Yeah, Honey.
Before it, well, no. Okay, there's the location where Honey used to be, which is the new Jet Set.
Yeah.
But Jet Set used to be over in North Loop before it was on the east side.
Yeah.
And so dancing at Jet Set and drinks was a hell of a party.
Nice. Okay.
I'd say that was one of the best spots. I mean, the way I party now is not the way that I partied 5, 10, 15 years ago. Also, it's candidly different partying as mayor.
Yeah, right. People are probably taking pictures of you and stuff and trying to talk to you.
It's very much a different scene.
Yeah.
And so the way I used to party is not the way we party now.
Well, how do you party now?
Well, I still go out and everything, you
Okay.
know. I'm all about going out to the bars. Whitey's is right over by where I live. I hit that up all the time. There's a few great joints in South Minneapolis that we routinely go to. But, oftentimes I've made a conscientious effort to spend time with people that are just really good friends.
Yeah. That's really important.
As a politician, as a public servant, it's easy to be going to event after event,
Right.
Gala after gala, things that you're invited to,
Right.
But then it's also just really nice to hang out with your 5 to 10 very closest friends that mean the world to you. You let down your hair for a little bit. There's no judgment, and you just have a good, enjoyable time.
Right.
Have a
Completely.
few drinks, whatever it might be.
Yeah, 100%. It's so important to spend time around people who are not either paid to be around you or like there for some kind of ulterior motive.
Right.
Just around people that are just there to spend time with you.
That's right. That's right. And that's important, and it's more important. I feel like, both the older you get, and the more you want to spend time with people that care about you and you really care about them.
Right, 100%. Okay, bit controversial. Last one. What is your favorite neighborhood in Minneapolis right now?
Man, that's ridiculous. Can I give you 2? Is that not allowed?
You can give me 2, but please rank them 1 and 2. One has to be just a little better than the other.
All right.
Your own ranking system.
It is my own. It is my own ranking system. All right, I'm going to give you 2. Shit, I'm going to give you 3, but I'm going to rank them.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Number 1, Camden.
Okay.
On the north side. Camden Town, if you will. This is a neighborhood that is really coming together. It's a place where people want to be. My good buddy, Houston White, is running with this extraordinary vision up there.
Okay.
And it is packed with culture and opportunity, and everything from the grocery store to the eatery that'll be opening to the coffee shop to the barber shop. You name it. There's just some special stuff that is going on. I'm really excited about it. Second, the Kinney neighborhood, down kind of way south west Minneapolis generally. It's just got a cool, chill vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would say both over there and over by Nokomis. I mean, there's just a chill sort of vibe where people are loving life. They're hanging out with their friends and their family. They're doing their thing. It's really special. The final one is over by you and me, and it's Beltrami.
Mm-hmm.
Beltrami is like a hidden gem because
Yeah.
it's wedged between the railroad tracks on one side, Broadway on the other, and then I guess it's Central there.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not know about it. It's easy to miss. It's the old Italian neighborhood where Delmonico's used to exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever were around when Delmonico's was there, but
I never went.
It was this like Italian deli right in the middle of the neighborhood on the park. It was almost like as if a house had been made into this extraordinary Italian deli where you get like prosciutto and mozzarella, where you get
Yum.
these fresh olives. And you can go in there and you get a little bite. You go out onto the Beltrami Park, which is one of the best parks in the city, by the way. And now that we're coming up on Halloween, a little pitch for them. I don't know if they're doing it this year. I have to check it out. But in the past, they've done this thing called the Beltrami Scare.
Okay.
I think it's called the Beltrami. Maybe it's Spooky Beltrami. I think it's a Beltrami Scare. And it's like kind of tongue in cheek. It's spooky, but it's a joke. You know. And all these volunteers, they get up and they act out this incredible horror story, and all the kids come and they watch. And you go around the park to experience different portions of the story that
That's
they're
awesome.
telling, and they tell it differently every year, and there's different people that have been participating. Again, it's kind of silly, but that's like the whole point. It's
Yeah.
like classic Beltrami
Yeah,
there.
that's awesome. I love that.
So, okay, those are the three.
Amazing. Love it. Okay, what's your theme song?
I mean, right now I say Won't Back Down,
Okay.
Tom Petty, but that's just
Okay.
the first thing that came to mind, given
Okay.
that we're in the final, 18 days of the campaign.
Yeah. Give your pitch. Last minute pitch to voters. What do you want voters in Minneapolis to know? Why should they pick you?
Well, look, we've talked about the experience, and the levels of experience are drastically different. We've talked about my love for Minneapolis, and I will do everything possible to make sure that this city realizes every bit of potential. But the truth is also that our city is at a crossroads, and we can go down a route that is about rhetoric and social media posts where you're valuing what sounds good over what does good. Or you can choose a route that may be hard in the moment but is right for the city. I have always chosen that second path. And through the difficult of circumstances, we've led. Through the hardest of moments, we've gone hand in hand with the city, facing the most difficult situations that this world could offer, and our city is coming back. And so I'm asking for people's support in your first choice vote to finish the job, to help Minneapolis be the city that we all know that it can be, and to make sure that it realizes every bit of potential.
Thank you.
Thank you
you
for
so
having
much
me.
for being here.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you like what I'm doing here, consider donating.
I'm going to say my minute and 30 seconds thing, and at this point, what they're trying to just do is gang up,
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, the two people that are way in the lead,
Yeah.
debate.